For me, what it means to be a mom, I think the first thing that comes to mind is just shepherding the heart of a little one, and regardless of how long that little one gets to be in your care. So whether you're a teacher or a neighbor or a grandmother who's watching, a grandchild I think that would be my definition of what it means to be a mom is what a gift to be given the opportunity to shepherd the heart of a little one or an adult one, really. I'm Carly Yates. I'm the executive director here at Mayfield Counseling Center. Our hope with this video series here at Mayfield is just to encourage moms. And it's something that I wish that I had probably looked into more as a young mom and preparing to be a mom. So we've just gathered the women on our staff here at Mayfield who are moms and have asked them to contribute. So you're going to get the opportunity to hear from quite a few moms and from just their various experiences. And I think it'll be really rich.
Hi, I'm Beth. I am a mom of 3 kids.
Hi, I'm Amy Jackson. I am the single mom to 4 kids.
My name is Peggy Adams. I am a mom of 2 adult children.
I am Dee Russell, and I have 4 kids.
I'm Jennifer Gazaway. I have 3 kids.
I'm Kathleen Carls, and I have 4 kids.
I'm Erica Lisby, and I'm the single mom of 1 daughter.
I have 3 biological children, and I have 4 bonus kids, so we're a blended family. So we're going to ask all of our moms what makes them a good mom. For me, I think the first thing that comes to mind is just that I learned very early on to apologize when I'm wrong. And I think it's humbling, but it's also, I think it's great for, just our kids to see that we can be wrong sometimes, and that's okay. And that we make mistakes just like they do. And so I think it takes away the shame when they make a mistake. So they know that mom makes mistakes too, and we just learn from it together.
I believe that I am a good mom because I have raised 3 independent children. I have my weaknesses and I have made mistakes. But overall, I know I've done a good job within my capabilities.
I'm a good mom because I'm there for my daughter and because of who I am, I think. I'm her mom. She couldn't have a better mom other than me. She's been placed in my life, and she is really what draws out the best in me.
For me, being a good mom was a high dedication on my knees in prayer.
I'm a good mom because my heart desires to be present, and I desire to see each of my kids for who they are growing into. I do not get everything right. I get far less right than I get wrong, and I probably don't always get the right things right.
I don't know. It feels good. It feels right. And there are moments that it doesn't feel okay. And it's in those moments being able to go to your kids and say, I messed up. I said something really harmful or hurtful or whatever it is that is appropriate for that moment. Or I didn't act in such a way that it was honoring for us. I am so sorry. It's allowing yourself the grace to be able to be okay with making mistakes and allowing your kids to see that so that they know it's okay. And what can you do? Take responsibility for it. It was one of the things that I told my son when I dropped him off at college and said, it's not if, it's when. You're going to mess up. We're not perfect. And I don't want you to put it under the rug. I don't want you to ignore it. I want you to be able to be okay with facing it and doing what you need to do to write your course.
What I think makes a good mom is just being authentic and true to who she is. I think that there's lots of books and lots of podcasts and things that sometimes can make us feel like there are things that we should be doing as moms. And at the end of the day, it really just matters who you are and who you want to be as a mom. So just be yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think the comparison thing is really tough.
and tough for it's young people that I work with, but myself, my kids, I see it in them. But as a mom, man, it's so easy to compare yourself to what you think is going on around you and what the standards are, And you think that your kid is the only one who's being rebellious or I don't know, maybe not that they're the only ones, but maybe that my kids shouldn't be because I did things right.
I think comparing ourselves to other moms are very competitive. And we, without even realizing it, sometimes we can tear each other down with what's on social media and just this idea that we have to work, we have to be a mom, we have to do all the things. And it's a normal struggle to compare ourselves to other women, but I think when I got off social media, that's when I started being happier as a mom because I wasn't comparing myself to other moms and the picture perfect lives we see on Facebook and social media.
That women in general, and moms even more so, we compare ourselves to everyone else. So I have friends that are stay-at-home moms that feel like they can't provide the material things for their kids. I have friends that are working moms that feel like they're a bad mom because they can't go on the school field trips or they can't bake for the bake sale. I have moms that just in general feel like they have a chronic illness and they can't be present as much as they want to. So I think the fact that we look around so much and compare ourselves and how we're doing, we let our value as a mom be determined by how we see ourselves measuring up to other moms. And we get to determine that value. Nobody else does. And so we need to value ourselves and know that as long as we are present and available to the best of our ability, whatever that is, that's enough.
I think, my encouragement to moms, I spent probably the first 10 years being a mom trying to fit into a mold in small town East Texas that I thought I should fit into, whether that was, the pressure to breastfeed or the pressure to be a stay-at-home mom and not work. And my heart had always been to work. And so I was confused by that. And I look back now and wish that I had been given permission then by someone, or just given myself permission, but just to really live into who I felt like I needed to be as a mom and not who my small community or even my church group felt like I should be, And so I just say, just give yourself a ton of grace and be who you need to be as a mom. And if that means you work, then work, and your children are going to, God's going to provide someone to love on them well. And I think that would I want to encourage moms, just be you. Don't be who your friend group is or who your church group needs you to be, but just be who you need to be for your kids.
I remember with one of my kids just deciding, I'm not apologizing for this child anymore. This child needs to know that mom's got my back. Instead of me looking around and being like, oh, do my friends think I'm a bad mom or whatever? It's so wrong. And it just hit me like, nope, that child needs to know that I've got his or her back.
It's okay to be overwhelmed. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be scared. And it's okay to not have the answers. If I could have gone back and heard that it's okay for my kids to do what they're doing and for me to struggle and to be scared, I probably would have been easier on myself.
That first year I was a single mom was hard. If I could go back and talk to myself, I think first I would tell myself, it's all gonna be okay. Relax. Don't expect to have perfect kids. It's so much more important just to be present. They were hurting in different ways that I couldn't understand. And I was hurting in ways they couldn't understand. And just being intentional with connecting and time and being available to just listen to their hearts was so important.
I think in the middle of a Bible study, and the kids were both born by then, a dear, sweet mentor of mine always said stretch and grow.
What do you think they meant by that?
Just life is stretching and growing. It's just not physically, it is just metaphorically speaking as well in our spirit, our minds. And it's that willingness to be able to be stretched, to grow and not stay frozen. In parenting, you can't stay frozen. You need to grow with your kids. And it looks different.
I would say give yourself grace. It's okay to look at your child like they're an alien, because they are sometimes. You don't understand what's going on with them. And just to give yourself grace that if they're talking to you, things are okay and you're doing a good job.
The one thing I know, and I think I learned this really going through my divorce, was I couldn't understand why my kids were always yelling at me. They were mad at me all the time. And then Dad got to be the superhero that flew in for a Disney type weekend once a month. And the grandparents were loved and adored. And it dawned on me one day that I was their safe place. I was their safe place to be angry, to show their ugly side, because they knew that I'd be there.
So for the mom who feels unappreciated this Mother's Day, yes, you are not alone. And, there have certainly been probably more Mother's Day than not that I felt unappreciated. And I think most moms would completely agree with that. But I think taking opportunities to capture days when we do feel appreciated, whatever that is for us, and holding on to those so that when there's a Mother's Day that pops up and we are forgotten, those happen, but just holding on to the moments throughout the year that you can reflect on that day.
So to the mom who feels like she's doing everything right, but it's still not reciprocated, it's not a two-way street, I would just say keep it up. I think a lot of times our kids get into adulthood and they realize the sacrifices you made. Part of human development for kids is just that self-centeredness, and they don't realize what's going on in the world around them. They don't realize what it takes to raise a kid. So I would say stay the course. Build your own confidence, do what you need to do to get your self-esteem from places other than just your kids, and keep on loving and caring for them. I think they'll appreciate it eventually.
When my daughter was 14 and said the words, "I hate you," I needed to hear, I don't actually hate you, I'm just really scared.
When you are isolated, when no one in your house as a single mom likes you, it's miserable. I think the best advice I can give is find another mom friend that can speak life into you in those moments. Have great affirmations. I have affirmations on my bathroom mirror. I have affirmations on my bedroom wall to help remind me that I'm okay and where I'm at's okay, and that this season will pass. And as long as I'm willing to stay in the fight, the end will be good.
Be able to be open to let others in. Be open to reaching out to Moms in Touch, to MOPS groups, to any of those things that are connecting others and alike. Because we can get stuck in our own head and it can be an extremely lonely place. And being allowed to add others in our space is hopeful, because it adds that me too, you too. Oh, I don't feel so alone, or I don't feel so silly now. We all need help, and parenting is something that is ongoing. And even though my kids are adults, that parenting role doesn't change. I mean, it does change in the fact that it is ever changing. It looks different. I have been extremely blessed to have some really beautiful people in my life come alongside me when I needed that, and be able to have those words to have, and to be in a space to be able to receive them. And that's really important, because sometimes we don't have ears to hear and eyes to see. And it might sound silly, but we can be closed down, we can be fearful, we can be all sorts of things that shut us down. And it's being able to stop a moment and be able to receive somebody, receive that handout, to walk alongside. And that support. And I think it's important to be able to give yourself that space.
You're enough as a mother. You don't have to be mother, father, everything. I know what it's like to wonder, am I doing enough? Am I giving enough? Am I kind enough? Am I enough? But I just want to take this time on Mother's Day to assure you that you are enough and what you do truly matters. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mom's Day. Enjoy your kids. Love them. They're not going to be young forever. They're not going to be whatever the teenage years look like forever. One day they might actually be your friends.